Okie dokie, guys. So the stuff we're going to be working on today is going to be, we're going to be working on circles. We're going to do circles for the circumference.
Wait, what is?
What's that? Oh, so we're going to work on the circumference. Remember, the circumference is the distance around a circle. We're going to work on area, which is the amount of space inside the circle. And then we're also going to work on cylinders, volume, so that we know how much space a cylinder takes up. Now, I uploaded the worksheet. Did you guys get the worksheet? Give me a thumbs up if you saw the worksheet and grabbed it yet. Because I sent everyone an email for it. Did you guys get one?
I haven't checked my email today.
Yeah, lousy bum. Well, it should be in your email, all right? There's like 12 problems, I think, total.
Okay.
No, there's 18, sorry. Still, not too many. All right, so what I want to cover today is going to be, first, let's talk about how a circle works, all right? If we start at the midpoint of a circle or the center point of a circle and we go out, that distance is called the radius. Now, I know some of you already know this, so don't have a cow on me, just realize I'm doing some review. A line that goes from one side of the circle to the other and passes through the center point is called the diameter. Now, both of these are used for different types of problems with circles. Both of them can be used, all right? So we're going to talk about that. So when I want to find out the circumference of a circle, I'm going to take the diameter d and I'm going to multiply it by the constant of pi. Now, for the purposes of this work, we're going to use pi equals 3.14, all right? So if I tell you that I have a circle that has a diameter of 10, it's going to look like this, 3.14 times 10, which would give me 31.4. Now, I don't have any units on there, so if I change this to, say, inches, then the answer would also be in inches. If I don't change the answer to have a unit, I'm just going to do the multiplication, and I'm going to say it's 31.4 units. And that's perfectly legal. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not incorrect. But normally these problems have some kind of unit that are attached to the problem. Okay, give me a thumbs up if that makes sense to you. Okay, you can give me a virtual thumbs up through the app, or you can show me your lovely face and give me a thumbs up. The two pretty girls in the room gave me a thumbs up, so if you guys want to stay hidden, that's probably a good thing anyway, because damn. Gavin's asleep. Teddy's, I don't know what Teddy's doing, but Mr. Parker's awake over there. Good job, Mr. Parker. All right. Now, further, one of the things we need to realize is that the radius is exactly half the size of the diameter. So we can say that the diameter equals 2 times the radius. That is one of the things that we can say about a diameter, okay? Now, we can also say that the radius is the diameter divided by 2. All of these are perfectly reasonable things to look at and to consider. There's nothing wrong with them. And how you get to that point, it doesn't really matter, okay? So that's circumference. Area. I'm going to flip this over. Area of a circle, the area of a circle has a value of pi times the radius squared, which, do you want me to remind you of my stupid thing my 7th grade teacher taught me? Isabella says no. Isabella says no, therefore I must. So Mr. Shirley said to me, remember, your mom tells you pi are round, but pi are square. And I swear to God, more than 50 years later, I still remember that. Well, more than 40 years later, I'm not quite that old yet. I still remember that stupid thing, and it'll stick in your head most likely for the rest of your life too. Sorry. But sometimes you just got to do it. Ah! Freaky little sister walking past Aiden. All right. So the way we're going to do this, if I have a circle and it has a radius of 4 inches, okay? Literally, I'm going to say it is pi times 4 squared, which gives me 16 times pi, which is going to give me 16 times 3.14, which if I can find that calculator, 3 point, whoop. Should give me an answer of 50.24 inches squared, right? Now it's going to be inches squared because I've got 2 dimensions going on, right? So if it's got 2 dimensions, then the unit has to be squared. When we did circumference, we didn't do squared because circumference is simply a measure of distance, which is 1-dimensional, okay? Aiden's talking to someone. Are you talking to your mom or your sister? Your goofy sister's there. Is your mom hiding behind the computer, or is it just your sister?
It's my mom and my sister. I'm in the kitchen right now.
See how you are, Katie? Get back to work. Don't you have a meeting to go to or something?
Yeah.
Don't you have some soul-sucking meeting that you have to participate in right now where you get off and you start swearing and screaming in front of your children about how stupid this is?
I had to make breakfast first.
Okay.
Amazing.
So, Ray, give me a thumbs up if you're like, okay, that thing about finding the area of the circle makes sense. I'm going to still do some more of these, so don't worry about that. I just want to kind of do the initial thing. So if you're taking notes, you can. I'm recording this, so I will be posting this on the YouTube channel. Okay.
How did you get what pi equals? Like, did you just make up a number?
3.14 is pi. The first 10 digits of pi are 3.14, 159265535. That's the first 10 digits of pi. So I just truncated it to 3.14 because I'm not worried about absolute accuracy. I'm worried about us being able to understand how it works.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Good question. You know, I don't mind questions. Now, cylinders, and then I'm going to do a series of problems as help for us. I'm going to make the numbers really easy on this one because I want to make sure you understand the idea as opposed to just making you want to cry and run for home. Isabel's already looking sad. I'm sad because I'm bored and I have to do math. Isabel, do you need some candy today sometime?
Yeah.
You want blue Jolly Ranchers, right?
Yep.
Okay. Aiden, what do you want? Because I'm going to do a candy run today.
Blue Jolly Ranchers.
Okay. All right. Teddy, blue Jolly Ranchers for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Parker, blue Jolly Ranchers? Ooh, yes. Gavin, you alive over there? I see your page, but oh my God, Teddy, you look horrible. You should get some more sleep, man. Damn. Wow. I thought you were ugly before. Oh God, no, that's worse. Yeah, okay. Put the dog back on. All right, so let's look at this. Now, the way that we find the volume the way that we find the volume of a cylinder is we are going to find the area of a circle, and we're going to multiply it by the height. Good morning, Hugh. So if we're going to find the area of that circle, let's draw it down here so that we're making sure that we're paying attention. Now it shows me a circle that looks like this. Now, I can't use that number 10, can I? What is that? What does number 10 represent? Represents a diameter, right? What do we need? We need a radius, correct? So let's go back over here. So here's the area of the circle. Here's the radius. So what do I need to do to 10 to make that a radius? I think Isabel said it.
Divide it.
I'm going to divide it by 2. So
Yeah.
the radius is going to be 5. So that means the area of the circle is going to be pi times 5 squared, or 25 pi. And I have to multiply that by the height. Well, what's the height of that cylinder? It's going to be 10, right? So when I do that, I get 250 times pi. So literally, I'm just going to take 3.14 and multiply by 250, and I get 785. Now, did I give any units? There's no units on that problem, so I'm going to say units cubed, right? Because now it's 3 dimensions, right? It is a 3-dimensional object, so any way of measuring it in terms of volume has to be done in the form of cubic units. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd gone off the page or off the camera. Does that make sense? We're going to do a few of each of these just to make sure we're cool, and then I'll set you guys loose, okay? Any questions at this point?
What did you multiply the 250 to get 785 by again?
3.1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you for asking, Aiden. I love that. You know, I never mind people asking questions. That never bothers me. All right, we got that? Okay, let's do a few problem examples then. Do you like the lined paper, or do you want me to go back to regular blank paper? I thought I'd try this. Does it matter to you? Do you prefer just the blank paper? Any preference? Does anyone care? Anyone have an opinion?
It's paper.
Well, some people don't like lines on paper, so I ask. Okay,
Wow.
so let's do a few circles. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take a few minutes and I want you to calculate both the circumference and the area of each of these circles. Okay? And I'm going to get a glass of water. I'll be back in a minute. Hello, Mr. Ellis. We're doing circumference and area of these circles right now. So work on those 3. I'll be back in a second. Any questions? We're doing okay on these? Remember that the circumference of a circle is equal to pi times the diameter, and the area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Remember that the diameter equals 2 times the radius, and the radius equals the diameter divided by 2. We ready to go over a couple of them? Yeah, let's do number 1 together. So first we have the radius equals 4. And to calculate the circumference, we need to double that. So the diameter is 8, right? Because the radius is halfway across, the diameter is all the way across. So I'm going to have to do 8 times 3.14, which is going to come out to 25.2? 25.02? Ah, stop it. So 3.14. 25.12, there we go. So 25.12, and that's going to be units, right? Because I don't have any units listed. So if there's nothing that says inches, centimeters, or whatnot, then it's just going to be units. Is that what you got? Does that make sense? Okay. And then the area is going to be pi times r squared, which is going to be pi times 4 squared, which is going to be 16 times pi. And I think we did that before. Wasn't that the 50.24 before? I think that's what we got before. It makes sense. It's twice as big, so it's going to be twice as that, right? What's the matter, Gavin? Are you cold? Got your blankie on. Oh, he's so adorable. My son climbed into my car this morning wearing shorts and a thin cotton t-shirt and said, Dad, can you turn the heat on? I'm like, no. Wear some clothes. He's like, I am wearing clothes. Apparently not enough. So if you're wearing enough clothes, you'd be warm now instead of cold. He was not happy with me. No, I'm not going to respond to that. Make sense on those two? Did we get those? Give me a thumbs up if we got that. I'm assuming there's, I'm imagining a thumb up behind the big blanket that Gavin's wearing to keep from dying in this frigid climate. Apparently he thinks we live in Antarctica. Dude, we're in Arizona, okay? Pretty warm down here, all right? All right. Let's do number 2 together. It says we've got a diameter of 12. That means the radius is
6.
correct. So to find the circumference, I'm going to multiply 12 by 3.14. And to find this is the circumference, and to find the area, I'm going to take pi times 6 squared. Make sense? We got it? Are we getting this? Okay. So we're going to multiply that and we'll get some number. I think it's going to be, it should be like 3767. Is that what it was for that first one?
It's 37.68.
Oh, well, it rounded for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. 37.68 units. And this is going to be 36 times pi, which basically means it's going to be 3 times as big as that, right? Because this is 12 times pi. So we'll get 36 times 3.14, and we get 113.04 units squared. Yeah? Doing okay with this? Okie dokie, artichoke. You ready to move on to a few cylinder problems now? Any questions on this at all? I know this is like, believe it or not, this is all the district wanted me to teach you this week was just circumference and area of a circle. I'm like, well, I don't know what kids you're teaching, but my kids probably just need a 2-minute refresher and they can do it. So that's why I added cylinders in, because I wanted you to be working on something more than just stuff that you learned like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at a few cylinders.
I see.
We'll keep the numbers easy again. Let's make this inches this time, just for sake of whoop. Very sorry. Okay, so let's do this now. Bandwidth is getting crappy again. The page is getting less easy to read. I just love when that happens. Okay, so to find this, we're going to have to find the area of the base. Well, the base is the circle, right? So we're going to find the area of the circle. Well, what's our radius? 6, right? So we're going to do pi times r squared, which is pi times 6 squared, which is going to be 36 times pi. And we just had that, didn't we? It was 113.04, right? Isn't that what we just calculated? Yep. So that's 113.04 inches squared. And that's the area of that circle, right? Now, what do I multiply it by to find the volume of this cylinder? Huh?
10.
Yeah, we're going to multiply it by the height, right? So if I multiply this number by 10, my decimal point's just going to move one space, right? So I'll end up with 1,030.4 inches squared, cubed, just inches. What is it going to be? What's my unit going to be here? We're dealing with volume. How many dimensions? How many inches? This was squared because it's area. This is going to have to be cubed, right? Because it's volume. So when we're talking about a space that is volume, we have to have it cubed because that tells us that it is that's going to tell us that that's going to tell us that it was a 3-dimensional object that we found space. Okay. So here's our homework for tonight or for this week. Okay. I'm going to have a series of, I have 6 circles that you're going to find just the circumference of. Okay. Then you're going to have 6 that are going to be finding the area. Okay. And they're varied between diameter and, wow, Showing up 40 minutes late. Jeez Louise. And then finally, we're going to have six problems that'll deal with the volume of a cylinder. Okay? No big deal. And then, of course, as always, I include the answer key. Okay? Because I don't care about the answer. I care about you understanding how to do it. And my personal feeling is that the answer is almost always going to help you to be able to more successfully find the way to do it. Okay? Any questions at this time, please? I emailed this to each and every one of you.
So do we just print it out and then send a picture of it?
You can print it out if you want. You can write the circle on a piece of paper and then do your calculations and send me a picture of it. Whatever you want to do, sweetie. Whatever, if you've got a printer, it's probably easier just to print it out and then do it on the paper. Not everyone has a printer, so I've just been telling people just copy the problem and then send me pictures. It was so cute. I had someone who they weren't sure I was going to be able to read their paper because it was sideways. And I was like, I can read it. It's okay. I read children's handwriting every day. Promise you, reading something that's sideways is going to be easy. So, all right. Any other questions?
Do you have tutoring today?
Yeah, I have tutoring. Let me check my schedule because honestly, I don't remember, to be perfectly straight with you. I think it's 1 o'clock today. I'm not sure. I'm going to kill my recording here. Hold on. Using the right mouse, that would be useful.